TTVE underscore thing. We are live 4 p.m. Eastern every single day. Hope this helps. And we're going to be watching Saintontas, CN Hoyoverse, Sabotage Wuwa 2.2. Yo, what's good, Young? Welcome in, brother. Now, I looked into this a little bit before. We kind of just discussed this on stream the other day where there are people reporting Wuwa to the CCP. And they would use a game like Brown Dust 2, Nikke, and we're just way more volatile, way more sexual, as like, hey, how is Wuwa's age rating changing while the other game isn't? A little quick TLDR is when the game goes 16, Wuwa does not change their own rating. And by them going 16 as opposed to being 12, they are unfortunately going to lose a ton of sponsorships and a ton of deals. So it's really, really not that good, but let's break into it. User nameless, no, I'm not a Paimon fan, brother. Hope this helps. Let's break it down. Let's see what Saint has to say. So yeah, it's pretty rough.
And it is pretty safe to say that there are a lot of people that are very unhappy.
I'm going to pre-dislike the video, though.
With the censorship situation that has been going on in Wuthering Waves.
I like
if you're not familiar with the initial set of changes, you can go ahead and watch my video over here. The Cantarella situation is crazy.
Yeah.
And what this video does is
I also think a lot of people are saying that it's weird, and it's weird to kind of like be upset by this. But I will say it doesn't matter if it's being weird. A lot of consumers, whether people want to admit it or not, goon. And a lot of consumers bought the game, bought this character to have that. Yo, best welcome in, brother. Good morning. And so, to me, hey, man, I ain't goon into that. I didn't even know that existed, but a lot of people noticed it. And censorship as a whole, whether I find it weird or not, doesn't matter. Censorship is bad. And like Wuma said, just go 18 plus to give us that 20-hour sex scene. Exactly. I agree. Absolutely.
Dives into all 100%. Of the different intricacies going on behind that censorship. With Wuwa now being rated a 16-plus game
so
in regions outside of the
Hello,
US,
May.
with changes being made to models like Cantarella's, where her fabric scene has been removed.
I think this is intentional. I feel like there's no way you could think this is not intentional. It was literally in the trailer. Like, it was literally in the trailer. People first noticed it in the trailer. I think this is very intentional design.
With the old and the new going from left to right, as well as a nerf or,
nudity
a
tag is crazy.
to
It is crazy.
Cartithia or Fleur
really
de Lis's model, where her outfit has been adjusted to spats below the waist. And so a lot of stuff has been going on. There's been a lot of discourse with the whole 16-plus rating happening overall being one of the biggest blows that can occur for a game. This means that Wuthering Waves, right, is losing a lot of sponsors. It's losing a lot of potential marketability. We have to think about how Wuwa, right, was one of those games that was actively advertised in Times Square and potentially, right, in very public areas within countries like CN or maybe even Korea or Japan as well.
Hi, doggy.
With the rating actually being increased,
I got 2 minutes, dog. I'm just recording.
Not surprising to imagine that a lot of those partnerships have pulled out, right? Think about all of those collab outfits we've seen, all of those public advertisements. There's a lot less money and a lot less marketability happening for this game. And it turns...
I think we could all agree all gacha games should be rated 16 plus or 18 plus because it's gambling, right? With that being said, we don't live in that reality. All of them are rated 12 plus, especially again Nikke or Brown Dust. I can't even show you the things that Brown Dust are doing. They can't even put it on YouTube because if I did, I'll get banned. But the point is, I think everyone agrees they should be rated that way, but they're not. So people want Wuwa to be rated 12, so that way it has a fair shake in being able to monetize itself and make money, right? I think we just want to throw that out there.
All the censorship, the new stuff that's going on to get it fixed, to get that rating down to 12 is happening. Maybe not because of like how spicy it is in game, but because of the massive amount of brigading that Wuthering Waves has undergone in the past couple of days, or really the past couple of weeks since 2.2 is launched. And boy, oh boy, there's been a lot of posts about it. There's been a lot of glue and a lot of investigation by members of the CN community.
Dude, bro has League of Legends downloaded on his computer. Do you really trust him? I'm just saying, do you really trust him?
Got a post by Ofa here on Twitter talking about how some say the likes of PGR, Punishing Grey Raven, and Snowbreak are too small. They're not really big enough of games to get censored. And in a sense, that's right. But it's not really because of that. That's not really the reason why this censorship or these mass reports are happening. But it's because, or really, it's because nobody reports them. And the CCP itself, right, the governing body of China, doesn't really care until there's a lot of public reports for something. And according to what we're seeing over here, many reported the game as early
Oh, this is 100% true playtime. It also feels like there's a war within the player base between the male and female characters. So the male and female, the deranged parasocial male husbando lovers and female waifu lovers, absolutely. Kaz made a video. I don't want to quote Kaz. I do believe Kaz brought up the fact that it's possible that the husbando enjoyers might have reported as well because they don't have enough husbandos and they're tired of that, which is crazy. I've had a thread made on me saying how I'm trying to negatively impact husbando sales by making critiques of brand. Athoma, I love you. Good morning. Can we get a fast shout out for Athoma? How are you, brother? I hope you're cooking up something crazy. So, but yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. Honestly, they're really... there is no proof of anything, right? There will never be proof of anything, but you can make, conclusions or, inferences on who probably did this. And the two main things are either going to be people who are mad that there's not enough husbandos in the game and Hoyo shills because for whatever reason there's perpetually this ongoing feud because it's the most cringe parasocial stuff. It's just crazy. It's just insane.
As the 2.2.
But there is proof of people putting up tutorials on how to actually report the game. So this video is they failed the moon landing and the Earth is flat. There's no proof of anything. Yo, I love you, Uma. Yeah, man, the Earth is flat, baby.
Watch.
Earth is
and
flat.
So here's a translation of a post that we've been seeing over here. The game Ming Chao, or really Wuthering Waves, contains a lot of obscene and pornographic female images with extremely revealing and vulgar clothing, and the game PV repeatedly contains extremely explicit pornographic innuendos.
It really
especially
doesn't,
the latest
though.
demo, which is Cantarella's, and what she does with her tongue. And so this is just one example of a post we've seen.
I feel like using marketing as a way to hit down the PEGI rating, I think it's such a weird thing to do because the Cantarella tongue, my whole thing with the Cantarella tongue was that it's not in the game, so it doesn't matter, right? I was one of the people defending the trailer where I was like, look, I think, first of all, I thought the tongue shit was hot, I ain't gonna lie to you. But even if you think it's hot or disgusting, it's not in the video game. So I feel like no other trailer would be like Cantarella's. At least I feel like it should be fine. Bro, extremely explicit. I know. That's what I'm saying. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Stinky. How are you? Yeah, I just think using that as a vehicle to drive home a narrative that the game is like a porn game is just kind of crazy, Suggestive at worst, and the thing is, it's not even like that in the game. There's nothing even close to that in the game. So it's just weird, man.
Report.
It's just
really
shitty.
Me when I say there's more. And people have done some investigation. They've done some digging to find out who some of the culprits are for this level of brigading to, let's be honest here, a government body like the CCP. We got this post by Amatsu Magatsu. To not offend anybody, I'm just going to stop trying to pronounce that name. So the censorship on PGR and WuWa is because haters are mass reporting Kuro games. There's
crazy.
A plus 16 rating now, and also a hentai tag on Steam, which now makes a little bit more sense how those labels are being added.
Hentai tag
Even
is so
guides
crazy.
On how to report Kuro games.
Hentai
and yet
tag
they
is
want
so
to
crazy,
point
bro.
Kuro players as toxic for being negative. Ladies and gentlemen, there are individuals in the community that are creating how-to guides on how to report Wuthering Waves 2.2.
I think these people need to get a job, man. I think a lot of these people need to get jobs and find some sort of employment and find the love of either a man or a woman or whatever affection you need, as opposed to doing this on the internet. It's just kind of pathetic. I'm going to be honest.
Believe me, right? Because it's pretty clear you might not believe
it's actually
me because
kinda
this is
crazy.
in Chinese, and you might not understand Chinese because this video is uploaded on YouTube and not Billy. Let's use Google Lens.
People talking like the things removed weren't a big deal. Why did people mass report? I don't know, bro. It's so weird. Maybe this is the answer, but why does it matter if the game's... Yo, what's going on, Frank? Can we get a fast shout out for Frank? Frank, the reason why it's a big deal is because Koro's going to lose tons of sponsorships and tons of monetary deals. Once the game is rated 16, it really limits a lot of things, like a lot of monetization on their end. So it's pretty fucked up. So they're trying to get it down to 12, so that way it could be considered a kid's game. Yeah.
To get to the bottom
Hope
of this one.
Let's go, brother.
First post over
man.
here. The department that manages games is the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. You can search for it to find the official website. Go over there, and then go to the reporting system at the bottom. Then you want to select report for cultural relics and other illegal activities.
That's so
Basically,
crazy,
I don't really need to dive into this too
That is
deep.
so insane.
They're essentially providing you the exact steps necessary to report this to the government body, the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. That's probably a mistranslation of some kind. And they're giving you the exact steps required to get all of it done. The posts are being
I don't know.
mass
I have no
uploaded,
idea,
right?
brother.
52 over here, and then a 50.
Yeah, honestly, we're gonna check that out after. We'll check it out after.
And they're just going ahead, and they're starting this brigade. And boy, oh boy, you can imagine the type of backlash, right? You can imagine the type of consequences that can result from something like this. Because one thing is very, very, very clear.
What's
when
clear,
it comes
Saint?
to the differences in player bases between Hoyoverse games, Genshin Impact specifically, and Wuthering Waves. We already know from a lot of the past occurrences, we only have to think about the live streams for Wuthering Waves, right? Live streams for Wuthering Waves oftentimes get brigaded by these Hoyo shills.
They would spam shit in the chat.
Fans talking about Wuthering Waves is a dying game. Come play Genshin Impact today and stop playing this trash.
Might play Genshin
and they'll copy and paste and spam the message over and over and over again on every single live stream that the game has.
They need to be spamming Box 2 has a good haircut instead. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see some Box 2 has a good haircut. And Ethan's cutie patootie. That's what I'm trying to see in these live streams going forward, straight up.
1.1, or really 1.3, all the way until 2.2. They've been doing it over and over and over. And the thing is,
to be honest, on both sides,
that's what's happening.
I haven't really seen it on the Genshin side, but I'm not going to say it's not possible.
It's happening a shit ton more in CN because boy, oh boy, we all know firsthand how absurdly
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Koro fans are sane and they're normal because they're not. They're not. No gacha hardcore fandom is normal. But I will say that personal experience, I've had worse experience with Hoyo shows, absolutely. There are core robots that are absolutely insufferable. They happen in my chat. They happen in my comments. They happen everywhere. But to me, it's been more mainly Hoyo people doing that. And I'm not saying that's all of them, but it happens to me. I see it way more, and I've experienced way more that personally. So, you know. Man, ever since Wu picked up Traction 2.0, it's receiving nonstop hate from every direction, whether this shows are toxic core robots within the community. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, even people within the community are frustrated because, you know, there's not enough men, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. Like, it takes a life of its own. There's more Hoyo fucks than core retards. Absolutely. There's way more Hoyo people, so I think that's why it happens more, or you see it way more. So, yeah, I mean, I will not try to hate men and brands so much. At TG, work on it, brother. Work on it. Stop hating men, bro. Stop hating men. Do better, be better. Yo, Ro, good morning, brother. Good morning. For real.
We know all about how they did things like cats that look like Scaramouche, how they've sent assassins to
This is very true, though. What this makes sense, where you haven't seen really Koro fan base crash the fuck out and do crazy things like this, or downvote Google Classroom, or fucking, again, threaten to kill Dawe in game. Like, it's honestly pretty fucking insane. Like, I find it funny when people like Ateo or Excellent talk about the eastern side of the fandom and the eastern CCs, and they're like, you don't see that on the west side. You know, you don't see that on the west side, but hey, man, it is what it is. But yeah, let's continue.
Away for making Playboy buddy skins for characters in Honkai Impact 3. They've done some absolutely absurd things that have already pushed the envelope far past what we're seeing over here.
And so it won't stop. It'll never stop.
To imagine. It is not hard to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, that they've gone ahead and started mass reporting the game because it's got or had a couple of spicy textures or a couple of spicy outfits.
It's not even that deep, bro. It's not that deep.
It's pretty clear what's going on over here because this whole rating change, right? This loss of sponsorships, this loss of marketability, it all occurred after the release of 2.2.
Nudity.
There really wasn't any offending content in the game that was updated at all in the most recent.
I was gonna say something so crazy, man. I was gonna say something so crazy, bro. No. I only want to see penises in these games. Get the vaginas out of here. Like, gee, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what the
censorship
fuck?
Patch? It was
holy
just
shit,
these
son.
two things.
Oh my god. People still talking 3, I know.
Ones that have caught
me though, true.
Also,
I feel you, Cap.
I feel you. Detailed instructions from certain members of the community on how to get all of this sabotage done. Boy, oh boy, it's a little bit of a messy situation. But this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. There's more. There is
Ladies and gentlemen,
we have a post by Echo Retro over here
is it?
giving us some solid proof. You all want to read this. I found it on X and Facebook. Many are sharing this thing. It seems some kind of organization.
Yo, what's good,
of
senpai? How you
fans
feeling, brother?
who
Good morning, man.
Other games.
Good morning,
and so this is a bit
homie.
like a suspicious link. Some people said it's like Chinese spyware, so I'm just not going to go ahead and click on it. But we've got a fully translated excerpt from that exact page detailing us on what exactly this entire organization is. And so with that, I'm going to take you all on an adventure. I'm going to take you all on a journey to find out what the fuck is actually going on with all of this brigading. So let's just dive right on into it. So the organization is called Zhanjiajun. Hopefully I'm not going to lose like 600 social credit points for pronouncing it that way. What is Zhanjiajun? We're just calling it XJJ. XJJ is currently the most extreme group of miHoYo fans, MXZ, that has mutated from the broader fan base. It is the
This is so fucking cringe. Like if you wake up in the morning, right? So like you wake up, you're like, ah, wow. It's time for me to get on the computer and fucking brigade everything and defend Hoyoverse. And actually, I will be the greatest Hoyoverse player of all time. And even if you did that for Korobots, bro, you're a fucking loser, bro. Like, you're a loser. Like, you're sitting here making a group of online vigilantes for a video game company that's pretty much abusing you. Like, they're just abusing you. It doesn't even have to be Genshin. Like, the same people who do this shit at every single game. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's absolutely insane. I think it's like, bro, they watch like the fucking Avengers. Like, wow, we need to be the Avengers of the fucking internet for Hoyo. Like, holy shit. It's the company. It's a group of Hoyo fans. Apparently, it's an organization or something. Also, good morning, Raj. Yeah, it's insane.
The only group of this kind that has been possibly formed, and indeed has already formed among all mobile game player circles.
Remember these people exist? No, legit.
Wiki page on what is going on. And so, among all the mobile games, anime style games, any game player circle, or really any circle whatsoever, except for celebrities,
Yo, it's
this
good,
has
Doro.
a group
Yeah, it's
count
crazy.
of maybe 20K people or more that are dedicated to just astroturfing games, mass reporting them, trying to cause strife, trying to cause conflict, and basically lower the reputation of anything that isn't a miHoYo title. 20K people is a lot. I'm gonna be real here, ladies and gentlemen. You can do a lot of damage with just 20K people in a concentrated effort, right? Imagine a Reddit post immediately going up to like 20K upvotes and then dominating the front page of something, right? And then immediately becoming the first thing that millions of people see. A 20K immediately like post on like Twitter or like Xiao Hongzhu, right? Or any of the other social media sites that they have. They have a huge platform of just a bunch of complete freaks who are dedicated to something that nobody should have this much vigor for. So what's the composition of XJJ? It consists of entirely pure miHoYo fans. They either exclusively play miHoYo games, or if they play multiple, they constantly nitpick other games.
They don't play anything other than miHoYo games.
miHoYo is superior. And one way that they can prove miHoYo is superior is by labeling Wuthering Waves, right, as a 60+ game. Oh, this game is just...
You have to give credit to miHoYo, man. They have found a way to create the most disturbed fan base of all time. I don't know how they did it. I wish I could create a levels of parasocial so I could just make a couple $1 million and drop off the face of the internet. Because I don't know whose mother Dawei fucked or what happened, but the fact that this even exists and people intentionally play other video games to find ways to critique it, that way they can bring up Hoyoverse games, is fucking insane. Tournament did this. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy. COVID was a genuine miHoYo job. No, that's what I'm saying. I'll be real. The whole thing, there's not enough male characters, and I get frustration. Even as a dude, the entire city started playing for Cantarella. I hope we get more characters. Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, man, I really hope there's more male characters in the game. Like Kat said earlier, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think the part where it teeters into being a little bit more silly and kind of weird is when you do shit like this, right? Like, this is just a different level. Or, like, again, like, if we go to Reddit, I mean, like, I could try to find the Reddit thing real quick. Dude, I had people on Reddit saying that I am trying to take down the Brant sales because I hate men because of my Brant video. I'm like, dude, you're like, how fucking brain dead do you have to be? You think I really want the men to not fucking make money? Like, get the fuck out of here. Second anti prediction is first. Oh, you're right. It is the first. I'm stupid. You're right. Thank you so much. I'm so silly. I was thinking of Stario. Thank you, brother. Dawei might cry 5. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, come on, man.
You're now a degenerate. You're somebody
like,
that's like lower
bro.
on the rung in human society.
Grow
just
the
for
fuck
associating yourself with Wuwa. That's an incredibly easy framing for these absolute losers to do, right? And then, you know, combine that with the loss of sponsorship, et cetera, et cetera. It seems that XJJ has a higher proportion.
I don't know what promises they made on Twitter time. We could talk about that after, though.
Of HI3 players compared to Genshin Impact, possibly because HI3 has a longer history of, I love how they put quotes around this, purifying its player base, resulting in a stronger effect. Basically isolating out and making sure that you only have a bunch of actual losers still playing the title. Let me give you a little...
Honkai Impact 3 fandom is honestly one of the most craziest fandoms I've ever been a part of. Like, I played the game and those motherfuckers were crazy. They are fucking
A little
insane.
bit of context on HI3. HI3 basically got, I already mentioned the buddy girl suit incident, right?
They're
They also
fucking
prevented the
wild.
addition of male characters to the game during the Flame Chaser arc, which was considered one of the best arcs in Honkai Impact 3. They prevented the addition of male characters in the game because those guys are just so focused on their waifus and they're that mentally ill,
It's
and
weird,
they didn't let
bro.
it happen. Only
It's weird
those
as
who are
fuck.
fanatically devoted to Mihoyo would become a part of XJJ, and HI3 has the intensity to achieve this level of devotion. We've already talked about the examples there. Thus, if HI3 is criticized, XJJ tends to react more aggressively than if GI, Genshin Impact, is targeted.
What the
XJJ may claim
fuck?
they are not MXD, but rather fun seekers or rational Mihoyo critics. However, their actions reveal they're just diehard Mihoyo fans. While they always
Rational
target things that are
Mihoyo
unfavorable,
critics.
right? An absurdly overpowered character announcement, negative Mihoyo memes being exposed, or players criticizing Hoyo's decisions in posts or videos, they always find excuses that aren't about defending Hoyo, but really just like preventing attacks or stopping the spread of, like misinformation through insults. And so they're clearly really heavily playing for one side and trying to either downplay any critiques or just attack other games. That
Rational.
is really what's going on over here.
Rational,
and they build
bro.
up a reputation. They have their own goddamn wiki page about them. You could say it's an online terrorist group at this point, but maybe that's going a little bit too far. Maybe that's a label we should think about. XJJ also likes to
Dude, what's
pose.
on his bed?
AstroTurf. They like to
What's on his
pose
bed?
as players of other games, like Arknights, TOF, or Wuwa, since they constantly portray these games as rivals. And what's one thing you can't have when it comes to a Mihoyo game? Competition, because God forbid Hoyo games get better because of competition, right? And they believe that by pretending to be a part of these communities, they can't clear Mihoyo's name being a part of those communities, but they can at least drag those other communities down.
That is honestly the most fucking virgin energy of all time. I promise you, none of these people have ever had sex with anyone in their life. If you pretend to be a fan of a game, and then after that you go and you pretend to be a fan to bring down the reputation of another fucking game because you want to make the Genshin Impact community look more viable. Again, unless Dowwave reached out to you and gave you a contract for this, you are the biggest fucking loser on God's green earth. Like legitimately, no, they don't have a social life and they don't have a life. They're probably 30 years old with a fucking Cheeto sticking out of their fucking belly button, never knowing what it's like to have a touch of a woman. He a fan. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, that is a next level of parasocial psychopath behavior that genuinely fucking throws me off. It throws me off. I never in my life have I ever been that parasocial with anyone or anything where I'm like, die hard, I must defend this to the day I die. Like, I get it when you're a kid. Like, everyone was a kid at one point, and like, whether they're playing a game or in their chat room, they defend the thing that they like. It's like, oh well, yada yada yada. Like, but it gets to a point where you're like, you become an adult. Genshin's been out for 5 years now, right? And it's like, maybe you take a step back and like a little bit of self-reflection, like, oh fuck, like, this ain't really a good look on me, boys. Like, this ain't really a good look. It's like, Jesus Lord.
With them. Yep. So moving on to the
What
next
the
part of
fuck?
the sequence. This is a 1 of 4. Do keep that in mind. XJJ
It makes no
also,
sense,
yeah,
I
Jess, we
agree.
already talked about that one over there. It's just a continuation, just letting you know where we left off.
holy
Roughly speaking,
shit.
XJJ can be divided
This
into
is from
two types.
Wiki?
The
A
SU
Wiki.
faction and the non-SU faction. With the SU faction being literally, these are individuals who frequently engage in
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. There's a faction. We've expanded. There's a faction. Doxing people.
doxing. So yeah, we're starting off real strong with this one. Referred to as opening gift boxes. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes like the Chinese language can be so beautiful, and just the way that they're able to like word certain phrases, like the fact that they've managed to take something as bad as doxing and turn it into like as flowery as opening gift boxes is absolutely fucking insane on public platforms like Bilibili, Tieba, and Mihoyo's overall community, right? They either actively post others' users' private information, they create mocking content like singing videos with the victims' faces, or enthusiastically share, amplify, like, and comment in support of such content. Yeah, so basically embarrassing other people, dragging down their reputation.
Dude, that is fucking crazy. Like, that is actually fucking insane. Like, that's not normal. Like that's actually not normal. Holy shit. You know? No, for real, especially with the game. But good thing I'm on Parasocial comes. Hey, that's what I'm saying. We got to make the bag somehow. Boys, 5 gifted subs, I start throwing ass. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, these motherfuckers are crazy, though.
Doing a lot of stinky shit to anybody, right, who stands in their way. Believe me when I say, if like, let's just say you're a Wuthering Waves content creator in CN, who maybe like shows their face, who's very active, right? I would imagine that this SU faction that's showing up over here would likely make you a target, and that's when the doxing and then the
dude, I would never.
Will appear for you. There are an
I would just be a
500 plus
VTuber,
accounts
honestly.
involved, since XJJ members often operate on multiple alt accounts. This isn't the head count, but yeah, 500 plus accounts
That's so
purely
crazy.
dedicated to doxing and essentially ruining the lives of people over a video game is a
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even care if these people are the ones who reported Woo at this point. These people are just fucking the scum of the earth. Like, I don't even care who reported woo at this moment. The fact that this even exists, is crazy to me. Like, what the fuck is this, son? This is insanity.
Pretty crazy. Then you got the non-SU faction,
crazy.
which is led
Of course,
by prominent figures.
I got you.
Pylon,
I got you,
Pioneer, Paimon,
Stinky.
BBQ Shop. I don't really know any of these, but they're being referred to as like the Holiest Colonels. And this faction represents the public face of XJJ, right? These are sort of like the insurgents. The SU faction is like the insurgents behind the scene, trying to like ruin people's lives. While the non-SU one is like the righteous, so we're the do-gooders of the community, right? And they're like the outward face that allows this subterfuge, right, to operate in private. So this is their public face. They portray the group as innocent, righteous, and self-sacrificing within the Mihoyo player community. Ordinary Mihoyo players who believe XJJ's propaganda and newly join the group also fall into the category, right? Because these guys are going ahead and they're framing themselves as, you know, genuinely like good people who just like love the game, and people who end up...
It's like the online fucking Hoyoverse Sopranos. Like, that's what it is. I can see why people don't speak up about this games anymore, man. I really can. I can see why people don't do it. I mean, I'll fucking continue to speak up. I don't give a fuck. I'm a fucking talk on this shit forever. But yeah, I could see it, man. Like, I could fucking see it. I get it. I get it why Hoyo creators don't want to say shit.
Absorbing the kind of bullshit that they're saying will end up falling into this group. But that doesn't mean everybody in this group is necessarily a bad person. They could also, let's just be real here, they could also just be stupid, and stupidity isn't a crime. However, this doesn't mean the non-SU faction opposes SU activities. They either don't know that XJJ engages in reckless doxing against the critics, or they quietly support it behind the scenes. The leaders of this faction avoid directly sharing or amplifying this sort of content. And so, like I said, right, this all could just be some strongly worded fanfiction, right? But when we've seen all of the stuff that happens, all of the public witch hunts that occur in CN, all of the terrible news that CN is always
I don't know, man.
It's
kind of convincing to me.
All of that, there's so much of it. And so it makes sense that the leaders of like the righteous side don't directly engage with the people that are doxing and, you know, ruining people's careers, but they're intrinsically linked, or at least thus so claimed.
Since Gardogo gotcha.
Let's move on to part 3. So when it comes to their behavior, XJJ used to have tags like, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. And with the Blaze on the ability to coordinate and share the latest locations for group activities, functioning similarly to a Weibo fan plaza. Now, Tanhua has...
It's still going. It's still going. We're on our third slide.
Channel, which, according to their own data, has over 30,000 members. I'm assuming QQ is... Okay, it already tells us. QQ is similar to Discord, with multiple sections for like chats, forum-style boards, so on and so forth, with some of those boards solely dedicated to...
Why are they so well organized? Because people have... Like, these guys have no lives. I'm telling you, they've never went on a date with a woman before. Dude, like... Nobody likes a weird, edgy motherfucker, bro. Like, you don't have to go on a date with a woman. Go on a date with a man. Like, nobody, like, these motherfuckers need love. Like, they need genuine fucking love in their life, bro. Like, so they need a dad or a figure in their life to take them to the side and be like, maybe it's time we get off the computer, kid. And if they're an adult, they need someone else to tell them maybe it's time to get off the computer and touch some grass. Because this shit is fucking crazy. Like, the fact that there's, like, still 5 minutes or 4 minutes of this fucking video or more. I don't even fucking know. It's like, what more is there to fucking talk about? Like, Jesus Christ.
Others for sharing propaganda, and others for sharing scripts for coordinated attacks. And if XJJ urgently needs to target somebody, a specific individual,
like
or a specific game, they can create a temporary section and just ping everybody, instantly notifying all of these jobless freaks to join the attack. Think about the power of 30,000 unemployed individuals who have literally nothing better to do with their lives than just hate on games. Think about how much damage 30,000 unemployed individuals can do who have nothing better to do than just jerk off the HI3 characters or Genshin Impact characters and shit on every other game that doesn't
touching animals, brother.
True. If an XJJ member wants to start countering critics, they can simply check the doxing board for targets, copy and paste whatever the attack or the scripts are, and then follow the links to complete the attacks. And when you see all of these detailed directions for how to report Wuthering Waves, what exactly to say,
now reaching cult territory,
like the graphic nature or the outfits and all of that, and we're seeing the actual proof of it from CN websites, what do you think is going on in those private discords? The process is highly efficient, making XJJ's coordinated attacks
crazy is that,
very
bro?
effective. Additionally, XJJ operates multiple internal...
Yeah, this is a new level. This is a new level of just, like, mental illness. Like this is a new level of mental illness. Like, listen, if there was, like, you know, fucking, I'm not even gonna say for a good cause. This is for a fucking competitive video game. This is for a video game. Like Hoyoverse doesn't need you to promote for them. They market themselves. They already fucking pay all of their content creators. Actually stopped paying a bunch of their content creators recently. They try to reach out to me, but I said suck my dick on God. The Hoyoverse is the biggest fucking gotcha company of all time. They don't need your help. Like, you are actively doing worse for the community by fucking being a 30,000 group of fucking violent virgins who are chronically online. Holy fucking shit. Like, that's fuck. I thought I was chronically online, right? I fucking work. I stream every day. Then I chill with my girl. Holy fuck. Then we got to deal with the regular Hoyo fans. Yeah, now I got to deal with these fucking assholes. Like, holy shit.
Discord
I don't get it.
with strict anti-spy
I don't
measures
fucking get
requiring
it.
a high-level Honkai Impact third or
Violent
Genshin
Virgins
Impact
is
account
insane.
and a
It's like
Billy account for
the
verification.
double
This makes it
V.
nearly impossible to infiltrate.
What
You need
the
to have like a
fuck?
track record of like wailing
I don't
on
get
MiHoYo
it.
games or like heavily supporting MiHoYo games or like creating content on them. So they've even,
The world we
have
live
like a
in?
security system built in to ensure that they don't have any outsiders barging into their community. Because people who hate MiHoYo games, right, or want Genshin Impact or H3 to get better and have quit, they're not going to be able to actually join it in the first place. And they closely follow those kernels that we listed out before in that non-SU faction. Yeah, this is getting a little bit crazy, guys. And so when it comes to those group attacks and scripts, they seem to have nothing to do in real life.
XJJ cars, the stream is brought to you by Gamer
XJJ
Subs.
seems to have nothing.
Yo, I got to get a Gamer Subs code. Someone hook me up with a Gamer Subs code, all right? Hook me up with a Gamer Subs code. I'm just saying, I don't got one yet. I don't got one
in
yet.
real life, spending
I gotta get more
all of their
clout.
time online, actively searching for
I gotta get more
MiHoYo hate
clout.
or rival game scandals. Once found, they typically mobilize dozens
Dude,
of members
what
within 10
the
minutes.
fuck?
Common scripts include, this is over here, when attacking, XJJ sometimes spams abstract phases similar to V8 style, flooding comment sections with irrelevant, unhinged essays, swapping the subject to an emperor or others, and at first glance, it doesn't look like defending MiHoYo at all, but a small, unrelated group, disrupting normal discussions. However, unlike Playful Madness, XJJ's limitation is meant to deflect criticism from MiHoYo. This part doesn't really matter too much, right? I do believe this is more about like the defense part that's going on, but you also have to think about the attack part. And so we're already seeing here what the example of the script is for what you need to do when you send the report. They're going ahead and they've already written it down. It's in public spaces. We don't even need to be in the XJJQQ group to see what exactly is going on over here.
me,
And so
bro.
if they're confident enough to be posting,
Dude, I kind of low-key forgot about Wuwa being a part of this video. I'm gonna be straight up. I kind of forgot they were a part of this. There's no solid proof these people are doing it. Whoever's doing, if you make a tutorial to report a game because there was a little bit of like a fucking you saw possibly a camel toe, like holy shit, like holy fucking shit. Like, I don't even fucking look at it, bro. I didn't even know it fucking existed. I thought it was a mod. I think that shit's weird. I personally think it's weird as fuck. I don't need to fucking go into my game and see a fucking random fucking 3D character's camel toe. Like, I'm good. But even being said, it's like, you don't have to censor it because you don't actively see it unless you're looking under their fucking dress. Like, what the fuck? Like, say part of some Crow fans would look at this, start their own version of this. Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, right? But, like, fuck me, bro. Like, holy shit. No, if they spent this energy doing drop shipping or fucking anything, they would have a moment of success.
all of this stuff in
Absolutely.
public forums, then they probably manufactured
Holy
this sort of
shit.
stuff way back in those public or in those private. Very
Yeah,
high
that's what I'm
verification,
saying,
very high
Fries. Like, what
security
the
QQ
fuck?
groups. And so that's
What
where
the
all of this
fuck?
stuff is going, ladies and gentlemen. And I do
Holy
believe, considering
shit.
that CN is typically the one responsible for these age ratings going up. The CCP is the one responsible for these age ratings going up. And we know that this organization is based in China. Well, it's becoming more
China.
and more clear. Assuming that we can take what's in this wiki page as, you know, more of a fact rather than a theory or just a guess, well, it appears we might have found the individuals responsible, ladies and gentlemen. We might have found the individuals responsible
What
for
the
this sort of
fuck?
stuff happening. And so that's why a lot of people are saying, well, it seems like XJJ are the ones involved. They're the individuals that are going ahead and essentially sabotaging Wuthering Waves. And so hopefully, right, this has provided
It's really
more
organized
context, more of a
attack.
rundown into the brigades, into the mass reports.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like we get the point of Saint's video. At the end of the day, whether it's Koro shills or Koroba, I mean Hoyo bots, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're making a tutorial about it, then you're a fucking bum. Like you're just a loser, right? You're just a loser, and you need to fucking get laid. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Wuthering Waves 2.3 special program, yada yada. Will you censor Zany 2 after how long? 1 week after release? 2 after her banner ends? Dude, you know what though? I get it. I listen. I think these motherfuckers are down bad. I don't pull these characters for their boobs. I don't, right? But like, I understand why, like that frustration. I think it's cringe. I think it's very fucking cringe. But I get it. But yeah, I don't know. There's no solid proof that these people did it. But regardless, this whole fucking group of fucking Hoyo bots or Hoyo shows are fucking cringe. So fuck that shit. I'm good.